Hello, this is Photography Gamer. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Resident Evil 4 for the PlayStation 4. Resident Evil 4 is a third-person shooter developed by Capcom Production Studio 4. Several years have passed since the Raccoon City incident where Leon S. Kennedy was caught up in the zombie outbreak. Resident Evil 4 follows Leon on a mission to rescue Ashley Graham, the US President's daughter, who's been kidnapped by a cult group in rural Spain. So what is the game like to play? Well, you'll be exploring the creepy village and its surroundings, taking on large hordes of angry locals, gathering special items, green herbs and ammo, and there are a few quick time events also. Progress is saved at the typewriters as before, and the village is full of dangerous traps, buildings you can climb on or barricade when taking on hordes, and some new interesting enemies like suicide bombers and Texas Chainsaw Massacre inspired foes. So it's not your typical survival horror game that Resident Evil is famous for. There's definitely more emphasis on gunplay and combat in this installment. The amount of ammo is a good barometer for that. In previous games, ammo was at a premium. Here you've got enough ammo at times for a small army, and you will need it for those hectic, boxed-in horde battles. Weapons can be purchased or upgraded via the shady weapons dealer who turns up occasionally during your journey. And it's just an interesting and varied journey with a great balance between exploration, combat, boss fights and action set pieces, but the game doesn't lose sight of its traditional roots, so it feels like a proper Resident Evil game. It has that kind of gothic horror feeling to it. Graphically, the game looks good despite its age. It's a very different visual style from the Resident Evil series generally, which is usually more creepy mansions, burnt out cities or tech labs. Here you're in a dusty Spanish village for the most part, in a rural setting. The character models and movement isn't perhaps as smooth as more recent games, but it's still decent looking on the whole. The sound on the whole is excellent, with some well chosen music that fits the creepy and tense nature of the action as it unfolds. The voice acting is fine, but it's not cutting edge, it's Resident Evil, so you kind of know what to expect. Also, one issue is that the village is in Spain, yet the villagers speak Spanish with a South American accent for the most part. It's a minor issue, but for those who speak Latin Spanish, it might seem weird to see Spanish people speaking as if they're in Colombia. Okay, what's good and what's bad? What's good? The additional action sections add a fresh feeling to the franchise. The game doesn't lose that classic Resident Evil feel. The game is a decent challenge with a lot of variety and some memorable moments. The weapon mods are a nice feature and the village is creepy, as are the cult behind it. What's bad? The controls are still very awkward and the story seems quite a departure from the previous games. So, what is the verdict? Resident Evil 4 is one of the best games in the series. It strikes the right balance between a more action-orientated experience without losing the core feeling of the Resident Evil survival horror franchise. Yes, it's got a lot more action and gunplay than before, but you still have the traditional puzzle elements. You still feel like it's a proper Resident Evil game. In fact, the addition of more action-orientated gameplay makes the game better in my opinion. It's a thoroughly enjoyable adventure and I absolutely loved it when it first came out, and even now it still stands up against most games that are currently out. Also, they are remaking this and that I am so excited for, because if you imagine this with all the slickness of the remakes, wow, this game could be even better, but this version is still a bloody good game. So my score for Resident Evil 4 is 9 out of 10. Okay, that was the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. This is Photography Gamer, signing off. Thank you.